If I put these in front of this piece of paper, they'll instantly pixelate. Gonna cut on the carpet because we're strange. That you really need to worry about. You need to worry about the
angle of the dangle.
The angle of the dangle. That there is ultimately your camber adjustment.
Yeah.
So you can wind that right in, and you can have mega drift buoys with a Z negative camber on your front wheels.
But basically, what Josh has done is modified them in such a way. This is very messy at the moment. We're going to clean this up.
We're going to clean it up.
As in Josh, here you clean up.
I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Look at the beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car.
So Josh has been working very hard, as you've seen. He's been grinding, cutting, chopping, adding to the bin pile, and he has been basically busting his arse while I've been working at the British Mo show. And we've got our big metal table. So this table here is designed to build cars on because it's completely level. What he's done is he's leveled the floor in certain areas and jacked it up and put a level on it to make sure it is perfect. I'm going to get some lights on in here real quick because it's pretty dark. On that note, he's already on it. And what Josh has done here, obviously you've seen him grinding and chopping and modifying and manipulating, but now it's all tacked together. And the most important thing here, guys, is getting this level, because you know, a 1 millimeter at the front of something or a centimetre at the front can be a millimetre at the back. So, you know, when this car is on a bench, if you don't have a way of measuring it and basically calculating its dimensions, then it can really escalate when we're on the road. And we don't want to be cutting and grinding this back up when we've got a nice gel, sexy painted body on it.
No, definitely not. As I touched on in some of the earlier VT you've just seen, there are a few fundamental angles that you really need to worry about. You need to worry about the angle of the dangle. The angle of the dangle. You need to worry about your camber, your caster, what's called your Ackerman, which is the line of angle that your steering arms sort of meet at. They should run. If you imagine a line, a straight line through that angle, right the way through to the centre of the back of the car. Right. They should cross over around about where the diff is. Right. Okay. They create a nice triangle. They've got to be about right. And because we're putting a new front end on, you've got to worry about rake. Okay. Because if I put this front end on and it's slightly kicked off the chassis so that it's like that, right, you're going to end up with quite a high rake on the car, which means the back is going to be a lot higher. It's going to look like a hot rod. It's got to be as near as damn it correct as we can get it. Obviously, we don't have a £20,000 jig. Okay. We have a nice piece of flat steel on 4 legs and a few pieces of box section that I've packed up the car on in certain places to get it as level as we can.
So, what have you been doing over here, Josh? Let's grab the camera off here quick. Let's see what you've been doing. You've been a busy boy, Josh has been.
Oh, I've been putting things on, taking things off,
this is the kit
taking things off.
Arrived from Andy at Tornado, and we have our aluminium uprights with our stainless steel spindles, okay, and they bolt in through the back there, have a nice aluminium nut, and you have our steering arm here, which is, these have all been twiddled on. So basically we're going to remove these, we're going to powder coat these, and I'm going to do a whole video on us fitting these properly up. So you have an upper arm here, which is also attached to this threaded ball joint here, which goes in the upper, and you have a fully bolted on ball joint on the bottom, including our lower and our upper arms. And these are completely custom and built by Tornado, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the idea of having an adjustable top arm is that straight away, that there is ultimately your camber adjustment. Yeah. So you can wind that right in, and you can have mega drift buoys with a Z negative camber on your front wheels, or you can have it somewhere roughly where it's going to be, which is about there, which is about sort of 1 or 2 degrees negative camber, which is perfectly sensible and nice, which is what we're going to want.
So how did you get? Obviously, we're going to take this back out anyway. Yeah. How did you get these bushes in here? These lovely little bushes.
Believe it or not. And
I want this to be, because guys, we're all about the truth here. We're all about the easy way, and we're all about working in a garage with not every resource in the world. So I love this. Tell me how you do it, mate.
Believe it or not, all I used to put those in was I believe a 21mm 6-sided socket and a vise.
Love that. And it's slid right
and we've got a press. I've got a 20-ton press round in our little tyre shed. But all you need really is a socket to go across the back. That sits on that metal lip, but has a hollow hole big enough for the bush to come through. Sit it across the back. offer the whole lot up into a vise with the bush in front.
Yeah.
Do the vise up, and it winds itself
Okay.
in. Little bit of lube around the outside of the bush, and they just push in.
Slid straight in. Love that.
Easy as that.
So obviously I see some changes here from the last time. We've got some new pieces here which you've just seen being welded on in the video, and you've got this piece here which you haven't seen yet. So basically these arms come and they should normally be welded on this inner side here, but basically what Josh has done is modified them in such a way, and this is very messy at the moment, we're going to clean this up.
We're going to clean it up.
As in Josh, here you clean up. So guys, our conundrum here is making this piece of steel here that doesn't fit particularly well, as you can see both ends, because this is a KVA chassis and this is a Tornado chassis, fit as well as this one does. So this is what we're doing now. So with a quick bit of jiggery and a quick bit of pokery and a little bit of grindery, I reckon we should get this done.
Shouldn't be too bad, shouldn't take too long. There you go, I've just marked. So obviously this is on the invert, but as a general guess, I'm assuming that the Tornado chassis is slightly different further back. So this bar would have quite nicely mounted to the next piece and so on and so forth in a Tornado car, but obviously we have something slightly different. So I'm going to have to alter the angle of the swage here to bring that round slightly further out, which will give us more room, which is nice.
Cool.
And then cut a step into the back piece,
Slide
and that step will sit then over this, and then it'll be able to be seam welded all the way around, and then we'll be able to make a web somewhere nicely up under here, make it some nice and strong.
Do it!
Do it.
Where's my goggles? Safety first, guys.
Today, Sam has his own pair of goggles. I have my own pair of goggles. Still no gloves, still no everything else. But
At least these ones are clean though.
You can have these ones if you like.
No, it's fine. You're the one that's actually doing something today.
Yeah, yours are just for looks.
Mine's just
and they suit you.
protection, baby.
I need a disc.
Well, on that note.
Oh, off.
What he meant was, oh, fiddlesticks.
Oh, chuffing Nora.
So what he's doing here is mirroring the lines from one side of the steel to the other.
I am. Only trouble is, this one doesn't go all the way down, which is a bit of a pain. But it is what it is. Okay. I had a steel rule somewhere, but I don't know where it went.
We're going to be okay. Sure, you can fill it with some of that metal glue.
Yeah, but I'd rather cut it right first time, Sam.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? So, guys, as you can see, there's a 2-inch piece of steel block mounted between the chassis there, in the middle, and at the rear to allow the car to be perfectly level.
It also gives us a small bit of space between the table and the base of the car so that we can eye things through from underneath, run lines underneath, run tape measures underneath, so that if it's lead straight down on the bottom, then it doesn't make it very easy to be able to measure the sort of the bottom part of each of these steel pieces, because you can't run a tape measure underneath it and just go, oh, that's right, yeah, that's right there, because everything we do, it will be measured once, measured twice. We've got a rather rudimentary X marks the spot, and also further back here, this peg, which is knocked and threaded in. I'm using that peg as a centre line, because that is dead centre of the car, not centre forwards and backwards, just centre left and right. That is dead centre of the car. So I can use that peg to sort of stand a tape measure from, and I can measure across to one, upright, and then back across to the other, to make sure that the car is nice and straight and square, because if that is 1 millimetre further than that, then we know that the front of the car is slightly askew. Half a millimetre is for what we're doing. If we're within half a millimetre of dead true,
It might be alright.
I don't think we're doing too bad. So that's the whole idea of making sure that you've got your centre line, because it gives you a datum point. You can measure everything away from one specific point, and providing that left and right and front and rear off of that datum point are all the same, you know that your car's fairly damn square. It's a little bit more difficult with rake, so with height, making sure that things are dead parallel up and down, but that's the whole idea of mounting it to a table. It's a nice, big, thick, flat piece of steel, so you can measure up from the table at any point. And if the car's got a completely flat bottom and you're 56mm,
Do you say fat or flat bottom?
I'll let you be the judge of that. So if your car's got a completely flat bottom, like this has, you can measure up from the bottom down to the table, and you'll have 56mm all the way through. If you've got 56mm at the front and 56mm in the middle, and 56mm at the back, you know your car's flat. Simple.
Do some grinding.
Let's do some cutting. Goggles on, Sam.
They're on, baby.
Gonna cut on the carpet because we're strange. Should we have a look, see if I've cut enough off?
Do it.
Oh! Look at that!
Wow.
Measure twice, cut once.
Tack it quick.
Little bit of tapping into place just to make sure. There's a little tiny bit that's just catching here. I'd rather not cut enough off than cut too much.
Yeah.
So that's always nice to see it pretty much dead on, but just a little tiny bit on the back there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's just overlapping slightly. I mean, I could leave it and tap it into place and fold it back in, but for
A little bit of grinderage.
a small amount of little bit of metal that needs to come off. You can see the lip in it, but the grinding's just not quite caught it. So
We're going to do that. So basically that's another piece of the puzzle back in. I'm going to time lapse a little bit of this now so we can start putting the rest of it together, but it is going to be a bit like a jigsaw. I think we'll try and tack it together and see if we can at least maybe balance some bits in place to work out where we're going.
one big giant jigsaw, very expensive jigsaw. Just like that.
When I grind, you grind.
Capital lemons, well look.
I like that.
There is a mask somewhere.
No, where are
Just a sec. That's lifted. I had that dead in place thing and it just.
I did shut my eyes then, guys, for all you people at home that screamed at me.
You're gonna get archived.
Isn't that Hawkeye's brother?
Yeah, the slightly less useful one. That's better. Alright, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tap this end on while I'm holding it like that?
Moving thingies, I don't want to burn them.
Terrific. Another piece of parchment.
Right.
That looks quite good like that. Quite pleased.
Well, where's our drawing?
I'm going to give you a warning, Sam, edit in at home. Pixelate in 3, 2, 1. Here's our drawing.
Pixelation! Right, so we got...
Sorry guys, top secret.
So these are our number 9s, guys.
You're allowed to see these, but not these. This is magic, right? If I put these in front of this piece of paper, they'll instantly pixelate.
Right, so let's get
I'm just giving you loads to do with your edit.
I know, thanks, mate.
He tells me in secret, he says, give me loads of editing to do, because I don't like sitting at home with nothing to do.
I don't like socialising with my family, apparently.
Yeah, they go in there, just like that. That's actually quite a nice fit.
That is sexy looking.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
So basically, do you want to just show them where those
So,
bars go?
on our top secret plan, it shows these number 9 bars, starting in here, and coming up to the inside, the bottom of the chassis rail, top to bottom.
I don't know if that helps strength that end though.
It may do, but then we can always cut a small piece that goes in here.
That's cool, alright.
That's triangulation. Now what I'm thinking is if we take that and slide it back and put it up here,
That gives us a bit of strength between the two.
You'll tie, yes, it's another tying point from the cable
Tuck it, do it!
to that. Just do it. Just do it. No, let's not grind it off or anything like that. Let's just tack it.
We've already ground it off, you did that earlier.
Not to here.
You did that earlier.
Not to here. Sorry, Sam, but
That's why he's paid the big bucks.
I don't know about the big bucks. Wow. saving it for last. That's better. Okay. This isn't even time lapse, this is just how fast I go.
You get to take it.
That's very nice, that. Lovely.
More good at that.
Yeah. Bit of structural rigidity then.
Okay, what's next?
The same, but the other side. That lined up there, lined up there. That's.
Do we take it?
You can tack it if you want to tack it. And I'll hold.
You need to be in the middle of it there. No, you're on the end. You happy there?
Am I flush with the inside?
Can't tell.
Yeah.
Perfect, that's the same the other side.
Lovely.
I think that minute might have been more good than your one.
Yeah, okay.
I've glued it.
You've glued it. You've done a thing. Pretty good, huh?
It's pretty good, man. So we've got our strengthening rods either side in now. Measure 9 times, cut once, isn't it?
Basically, yeah. I'll just.
So what do we have down here? What's left on our listing? So number 10s, are these little tiddlers here? They're unmasked now, yeah, these are 10s. On that note, I'm going to let Josh take it away over the next couple of days and make us a dashboard. See you next week, Josh.
See you later. He's off again now. He's off home to go and enjoy his life. I'm going to slave away, cutting and grinding and swearing and hitting things with hammers and hopefully building us a supercar.
Let's get to it.
Let's keep going. Keep going.
Quick reminder, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and then the bell button, so you get alerts when we release new episodes, and follow us on social media too for extra stuff and more alerts about videos we're releasing, which at the moment is every Sunday and the odd Wednesday too. Bye for now.